about some help preparing for the Praxis ESOL 5362 exam. That focuses on academic language adaptation and integration, planning and instruction. This video will show you how to adapt academic language by domain and proficiency level seamlessly as you study for the English for Speakers of Other Languages assessment. Hi, I'm Elizabeth, a college professor and a test prep expert with Study.com. This ESOL 5362 competency focuses on adapting academic language by domain and proficiency level and integrating content and knowledge. Ready to see these strategies in action? Let's explore some authentic practice questions. A teacher plans a lesson on the water cycle for English learners at varying levels of proficiency. To ensure access to both content and language, the teacher provides visual diagrams, sentence frames, and simplified vocabulary for beginner students. This approach best reflects an understanding of A. Using peer tutoring as a support tool, B. Adapting instructional materials by proficiency level, C. Implementing error correction strategies, or D. Teaching language through translation. Let's begin by examining the context clues. The teacher is providing visual diagrams, sentence frames, and simplified vocabulary. So immediately we can eliminate option A. Option A refers to a support strategy by using peer tutoring as a support tool, but not to material adaptation, which we see in the context clues. Next, we can eliminate option C, implementing error correction strategies. Error correction focuses on how a teacher responds to student language mistakes, not on how they design the lesson materials in the first place, so that would not be the best choice. Option D implies direct translation, which is not an ESOL best practice for building academic language, so we would not choose D. That leaves us with the correct option, which is B, adapting instructional materials by proficiency level. This option aligns with best practices for ESOL by differentiating materials according to students' English proficiency. Visuals, sentence frames, and simplified vocabulary are all strategies to scaffold content. Which of the following is the best example of an adapted language objection for beginner-level ELs during a science lesson? Would it be A, students will label parts of a plant using a diagram? B, students will write an essay on plant reproduction? C, students will explain photosynthesis using academic language? Or D, students will debate the pros and cons of genetic modification? I've highlighted the restrictive language in this question, which is best example, as well as the focus is beginner level English learners. So keeping that in mind, let's see what makes a strong language objective at that proficiency. There are three objectives here, or three lessons that seem very high level for beginner English learners. Option B, C, and D are all targeting complex demands. Option B is asking students to write an essay on plant reproduction. This would be too advanced for beginners because essay writing demands complex sentences and high-level vocabulary. Option C, students will explain photosynthesis using academic language, is also beyond the scope of what beginners can do. Academic language targets intermediate to advanced learners, not true beginners. And option D, students will debate the pros and cons of genetic modification. This is best reserved for high, intermediate, or advanced proficiency levels. Option A is our best choice. Students will label parts of a plant using a diagram. Labeling a diagram is a task aligned with beginner proficiency and still integrates the key content and vocabulary necessary in a science lesson. Which of the following instructional models is most widely used to simultaneously teach academic content and language skills to ELs? Is it A, whole language approach, B, grammar translation method, C, sheltered instruction observation protocol, or D, total physical response? Let's keep in mind we need to focus on a strategy that emphasizes academic content and language skills. With that in mind, we can start with the whole language approach. Option A would not be our best choice because it emphasizes literacy without structured content integration. It's not specifically designed to blend academic content with language objectives for ELs. Next up, we can eliminate option B. Grammar translation method focuses on translation, not content instruction. This old school approach would focus on bilingual dictionaries, rote memorization of grammar rules, and literal translation. It's rarely used today for content area instruction because it lacks that focus on authentic use of English in academic contexts. We have two good choices left, but there can be only one. We're going to eliminate total physical response. TPR supports beginners with listening and action, but it doesn't address academic content directly. It uses body movements to teach vocabulary and commands, and that is ideal for beginners in early stages of oral language development. But here we're looking to support academic content as well as language skills. So that means the correct choice would be C, Sheltered Instruction Observation Protocol, or SIOP. SIOP is a widely used framework for planning and delivering lessons that integrate language and content instruction. It uses strategies like visuals, modeling, and scaffolding. So C would be the best answer here. A teacher designs content and language objectives for a lesson on ecosystems. The content objective is: students will identify the components of an ecosystem. Which of the following is the best matching language objective for intermediate ELs? Would it be A, students will listen to a lecture on ecosystems? B, students will write a 5-paragraph essay on global warming? C, students will translate ecosystem terms into their home language? Or D, students will describe an ecosystem using key vocabulary in a short paragraph? As we examine the answer options, keep in mind that we are looking for the best activity that aligns with identifying the components of an ecosystem using intermediate language level production. So, beginning with choice A, students will listen to a lecture on ecosystems. This really doesn't match our objective because it is too passive and it does not involve language production. Option B, students will write a 5-paragraph essay on global warming. A 5-paragraph essay is too advanced for intermediate ELs in a single lesson, and it goes well beyond just identifying the components of an ecosystem. Option C, students will translate ecosystem terms into their home language. This doesn't ensure a productive use of the target English vocabulary in context. It focuses on translation rather than English language development. So C would not be our best option. In this scenario, option D, students will describe an ecosystem using key vocabulary in a short paragraph, is the best choice. It's measurable and directly linked to the content objective. It targets the same vocabulary needed to identify components and asks the students to produce language at an intermediate level, complete sentences in a brief paragraph. Great job today! You've learned to tailor academic language by domain and proficiency, and to blend content and language objectives in every lesson. Applying these methods in your future classroom will help your English learners thrive. For more practice, check out our Praxis ESOL 5362 playlist. And for even more detailed practice, strategies, and customizable study materials, head over to study.com and check out our Praxis Test Prep course. Those who use study.com boast a 92% pass rate. Our courses include full-length exams, hundreds of authentic practice questions, and short targeted video lessons specifically developed based on the latest test updates. With our resources, you'll know exactly what to expect on test day. Like this video and subscribe to this channel to get all the latest Praxis test updates. And please leave your questions and success stories in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Happy studying.